Hi there, this is Sags War on Women. Okay, I'm back. I'm back and I plan on putting out content regularly. Yes. But before I do that, I do want to explain why I was absent. Because I said I would. And that Epstein talk that I put out a little while ago, I said I would do a talk later on that week explaining where I had been. And obviously, I didn't do that. I didn't put out the talk. So I figured before I start pumping stuff out, I appreciate each and every one of you that subscribe to my channel and listen to my podcast, and I feel like I owe it to you guys. I feel like I owe it to you guys to tell you what happened. For those of you that have listened to my content, you know that I spend the majority of my time talking shit about women and the things that they do that make me nuts. I do not spend a lot of time talking about myself. And I'm not going to talk much about myself. But I do want to kind of give you an idea of what made me go off the deep end. Because that's what happened. Okay? That's what happened. I work in a certain industry. Okay? Fuck it. I'm an event coordinator. Okay? That's what I do for a living. And so I oversee vendors for events. This could be music festivals, fucking city things that the city that you live in puts on, like a fall festival or something like that. Corporate events, private events, small events even. I do birthday parties, baby showers, bridal showers, celebration of life, also known as funerals, and weddings. Now, right now when I said wedding, I'm sure a lot of you perked up and what the fuck, man? You talk to people in the red pill community, why would you have anything to do with weddings? Well, I do, because I oversee vendors, okay? So if a couple hires me to oversee their vendors, I'm going to do it. Now, I'm not going to give the exact date, even though I know when it is, but right before my absence, I did a wedding for a couple, and they were nice, they were okay people, but the groom's family, the women in the groom's family, they sucked. They sucked, man. And they made for a shitty weekend. And after the wedding was over and after the reception was over, it was really late at night. I got home and I thought, you know what? I'm going to wind down. I'm going to sit on my deck, listen to the quiet, and have a few beers. And that's what I did. And as I was sitting there having a pity party, not so much a pity party, I guess, it was more like a bitch fest in my head over how annoying these people were as the beers were kind of kicking in. I began to enjoy the silence and started thinking, well, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And, because it really wasn't that bad. Now that I look back on it, it wasn't that bad at all. But a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, was also having a bad night. And dealing with something that he couldn't deal with. And instead of sitting down and having a few beers on his porch, he walked down on his porch and he hung himself. Yeah. Now it's hard enough when you lose someone prematurely, but when you lose someone to that, it's very difficult. And I'm not going to get into all the details, okay? In fact, at this point, I don't even really want to talk about it anymore at all. So I'm not going to. And I'm not going to talk about male suicide rates right now in this episode. I just wanted to basically say that's what happened. And I got so fucking filled with red pill rage, I couldn't talk. Okay? I couldn't talk about things that women did without just going off the deep end. All right? Now, some of you may be thinking, well, you talk shit about women all the time. And I do. Okay? I get it. And I mean what I say. But I can do it a little more tongue-in-cheek, even though I mean what I say, I can do it to where it kind of has a little bit of humor to it, to where it's not so fucking abrasive, but there wasn't a chance in hell I was going to be able to put out any content without just fucking going all in. And it wouldn't have been good for anybody to listen to. That lasted for a couple weeks, okay? But in those couple of weeks, I had developed a habit of clenching my jaw. Yeah. If you ever become aware that you're clenching your jaw, don't do it. All right. Now, normally this wouldn't have been an issue, but I had just had an implant seated in my mouth, and it caused what's called traumatic occlusion. Now, it's not as bad as it sounds. It's not trauma, but it's painful, and I had to wear a mouth guard, okay? I still do, in fact, at night, but not during the day anymore. And when I say mouth guard, it's not a cool mouth guard. I mean, it's not a mouth guard that looks like I'm going to go try to do something dangerous. No, it's a shitty, clear mouth guard that looks like I tried to go to a fucking socialist country and get Invisalign, okay? Who are we kidding? Invisalign's a luxury. They don't have that shit in socialist countries anyways, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So, but I didn't really care about how it looked. I couldn't talk because I slurred through it really bad. Really, really bad. So yeah, so that's it. That's where I've been. I guess I just want to say, red pill rage, it waxes and wanes. And sometimes we get really angry. Sometimes we get frustrated, and sometimes we just fucking laugh at what's going on, because women and the things that they do are so damn ridiculous. Okay? To the point where it's funny, because it's like, what are they going to do next? Another thing that's real, though, is red pill isolation. And I do want to touch on that briefly, because I'm grateful that I've had a lot of support and a lot of new subscribers come over to my YouTube channel. You guys help with red pill isolation. It's nice talking to you guys. It's really nice talking to you guys and talking to people that share the same thoughts. We don't think everything alike, obviously, but it's nice to have people that kind of have the, things in common and somewhere to turn to. And I need a shout out to Keeping It Keith and his channel. He's been very supportive of me. And I also want to shout out to Victor von Frankenstein, because he has also been very supportive. And these are two men that do a lot of live streams, and they're very supportive of other men, and they bring people together so we're not dealing with this isolation alone. Whether it be red pill isolation or just isolation in general. And after losing my friend, it just really hit home how important it is that men stick together, okay? Men stick together. We're always hearing about how, oh, women, you go, girl. Oh, you got to have your friends. You got to go out with the girls, ladies' night. Friends. Men don't have that. Men don't have the community like women do. And so, again, I really want to thank you so much, Keith and Victor, for doing what you guys are doing and the positive messages that you are putting out for men. And yeah, so that's it. That's where I've been, and I'm back. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to this. Real quick, I don't think I'm going to be involved in the YouTube purge because I'm pretty small. I appreciate all of you that are here, and I like to keep our numbers down a little bit because, more personal that way. But if for some reason they do kick me off, I am on any podcatching device that you can find out there. And that's where I've been for a long time before coming over to YouTube. So anyways, guys, thanks again. One last thing, if you could be a little patient with me over the next few episodes, I may cover some topics that are considered old news. Okay, you might be like, fuck, we already know this story, but I missed out on a lot that I wanted to talk about but couldn't. So if you can remain patient, I would really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks you guys so much. I look forward to much more content in the future. And that's that. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm Sag Novotny, and this is my war on women.